It's like, I'm a monster, because he is an actual monster who turns green and kills people. And she's like, she leans over, puts a hand on the, hey, I get you, King. I'm also a monster because they took out my uterus and I can't have children.
Yeah.
And yeah,
and then
I think that would... Okay, welcome back everybody to another episode of Little Miss. For those of you who are new here, my name's Riley, and every week I pick a topic of conversation designed to make you, the listener, feel as if you're in the room with a friend having the same conversation. Today, I'm joined by my roommates who generally do this podcast with me, and I thought since we watch so much TV and we do like to discuss fictional women, we could discuss some women in media who got the short end of the stick, basically, that they got like kind of done dirty when it comes to their character or the writers, or basically no fault of their own, but it could have gone 1,000 different ways that would have been better.
Yeah.
So that's going to be today's episode.
Also joined by Moose.
Yeah, I don't think you can see him, but we have Moose with us. Who wants to go first? Whoops.
I will start. So one I have on my list is Rachel Dawes from the Batman trilogy.
Oh, cool. So I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, enlighten us.
Okay.
Oh, sweet. No idea.
Okay. You guys have seen The Dark Knight, right?
Yes.
At some point.
Yeah, but I only watched it for Heath Ledger.
Well, that's fair.
Like, I don't remember any other plot point.
Okay. Well, Rachel Dawes is a character who's introduced in the first movie, The Batman. And then she carries over into The Dark Knight, which is the second movie. And spoiler alert, she dies. I find her particularly annoying as a character because she's a Christopher Nolan woman, which means she's useless to the plot.
Or like historically, he can't write women.
He cannot write women.
Okay.
She is a woman who serves no plot other than to further Bruce Wayne's plot. Like, she's the girl next door that he grew up with. Okay. She's not even in the comic books. She was written specifically for those movies to be a plot device for him.
Okay. Yeah.
Which one does she die in?
The Dark Knight.
Okay, is it the one where is like getting in a fight with Joker and then he's like, oh, like, I like them with attitude, and then Batman's like, then you're gonna love me.
Yes,
it's that girl. Okay. Yes, I know you're talking about it.
That's her.
I forgot she was in them.
Yeah, that's because she doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Her only purpose is to die at the end of The Dark Knight, which pushes Harvey Dent's character into becoming a villain and Bruce Wayne's character into his darker arc. That is her only point. Christopher Nolan famously does not write women well,
yes.
But I think she's just like a prime example of that because she's literally not even in the comic books.
Okay. He literally just inserted her. Should we explain for the audience what fridging is? Because yes. I think a lot of this... Hold on, let me look up the definition. Because I didn't realize that it came from a specific movie. Because we talked about fridging in the Bechdel test episode.
Doesn't it come from a comic book?
It does, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Fridging is a storytelling trope where a character, typically a female love interest, is injured, killed, or depowered solely to motivate a primary, usually male character's development or revenge. It acts as a lazy plot device rather than a meaningful character arc. Coined by Gail Simon in the 1990s, it stems from a Green Lantern comic where a hero finds his girlfriend stuffed in a refrigerator. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I do remember us talking about that in the Bechdel test. I just haven't really thought about that since then. And then when I was making that list, a significant, like, not all of these, but a lot of these are just like women that men put into the plot to kill.
Yes, their whole point is to be killed. Their whole point is to be killed. Yeah. And like, they don't have any internal motivation.
Yeah.
They aren't interesting in any way. They're just like very two-dimensional girl next. They tend to be like, you know, like perfect wives, perfect girlfriends. Like, their whole role is to be a dead woman.
Yeah.
Which sucks that Christopher Nolan films are so popular because every man has one in his top 5.
Oh yeah. And I can acknowledge that they have value. Like, they're pretty movies, you know. I think they can have interesting plots. Like, I do like a couple. I've never thought a woman was well written in a Christopher Nolan movie.
Yeah. Okay, I did include one, or I technically have 2 people from Criminal Minds on my list. The first is Penelope Garcia. So basically in Criminal Minds, they set up this super hot... Yeah, what? Okay. They set up Morgan's character and Garcia's character as like having a ton of chemistry. The whole like TikTok trend where they're like, yeah, match your freak. That was them. They were actually uncomfortably chemistry like aligned.
Like, if like at one point, didn't they have like a HR company come in and be like sexual harassment in the workplace?
They probably did.
They had like direct quotes from them, and like they're like, who complained about us?
Yes, everyone did.
Everyone.
They had the weirdest sexual relationship of all time. He would like, it was so bizarre that I think her character is kind of annoying. I don't like the way that he was written in any way, but I do feel like that she got the short end of the stick. But because she wasn't like conventionally attractive, they never wrote her as a love interest.
Right. It was always like a weird sexual banter, but like platonic.
Yes,
Yeah.
they always wrote like different love interests. They were always like, oh, you guys are definitely going to have the most insane, uncomfortable chemistry of all time. You're not good enough to ever be like a love interest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she wasn't hot enough to actually be with him. It's more like a joke.
No,
Yeah.
it was kind of a joke. Yeah. And they kind of wrote like a nice, like they would have good moments where he was there for her. They had a lot of like emotional bonds.
Yeah.
Never going to go past that.
No.
And if they had written her as like conventionally attractive, which like big quotation marks, but if they had written her as that, they would have ended up married.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
The only reason they didn't is because of like the way she looked.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even an unattractive woman. She was annoying.
She was, I hate her personality.
And
Yeah.
like she was weird. But like I never thought she was like unattractive.
No,
But she was not conventionally attractive. You're correct.
yeah.
Especially for the time.
Yeah. What, like the early 2000s?
Yeah. Like that was a very different time in media. We were lucky to have a woman who was plus size on screen.
Yeah,
They
truly.
They said be grateful.
Actually, yeah, truly.
Lauren, did you want to share yours?
This is not mine, but just going along with what you were saying about what's her name, Garcia.
Yeah.
Modern day equivalent. It's not a TV show. I remember there was a time when Lizzo and Harry Styles were seen together a lot, and like she covered his song, and then he covered her song, and then he asked her to perform at Coachella, and then like they were at each other's table at the Grammys, and like same thing. They had like a ton of chemistry. They're always together. But because Lizzo's plus size, it was never rumored that they were dating.
I did not know
Like
that.
no one ever, like that never even like occurred to anyone.
A real life
And
woman
again,
who was done dirty.
They
Yeah.
weren't dating.
Yeah.
But if it had been
Yeah.
if she hadn't been plus size, it would have been any other woman. You would have assumed that they were dating.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Like
that-
if he was doing that with Kendall Jenner, everyone would have been shipping them.
Yes,
But
for
because
sure.
she's plus size and black, no one thought anything of it.
Oh, plus size and black.
Oh,
double
brutal.
whammy.
Yeah. I mean, I think Harry Styles has like brushed like Jesus with the robe.
No,
I think that
truly.
people just like brushed him in a crowd, and people have been like, I think they're dating.
I think
Yeah.
they're in
No,
love.
and the fact that I didn't even know about that is wild.
Yeah, like I feel like that would have been such a huge thing if she was
Yeah.
anyone else. So classic example of women being done dirty.
Yeah.
Classic.
What do you guys think about, because that kind of reminds me and it's very current right now, what do you guys think about the Taylor Frankie Paul thing? Because I did see a TikTok today that said like if she was a man, basically the TikTok was like everyone's commenting like if this was the roles were reversed, what would happen? And she was like, well, the roles have been reversed. Like Chris Brown still has a career, and all these other men that have actually beat women have a career.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor Frankie Paul's like season is getting completely canceled. What do you guys think about it?
I think there's probably some truth to it. Women are held to a higher standard. So if a man does something and a woman does something, generally the woman is getting a harsher punishment.
Yeah.
It's considered more, or like it's considered worse if she does it. But I will say, I think if a video came around of like a man throwing a chair at a woman, I don't think he would be having a good time.
Yeah.
I think he might be able to rebuild it, but I do think he'd be,
Yeah, like
He'd
his
have
shit
to
would
be-
probably get pulled as well.
yeah, I agree.
Do you guys think it's strange that the video got released 3 days before the actual like premiere of The Bachelorette?
I mean, yeah, it was targeted.
Yeah. I don't think there's any reason that happened other than to derail her season. Like, obviously, it did happen,
Yeah,
but the releasing of the video, come on. That's way too coincidental.
I do think it's coincidental.
That was meant to sink her.
Especially since we already knew the event happened. It wasn't like it happened like last week. It was like someone had this video, waited until her season of The Bachelorette was about to air, and then released it,
Yeah.
which is crazy. Anyway, Taylor, do you have another one?
I do. Going along a bit with Lauren's not a real person, but she is black. And it's Nicole from The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Okay. Yeah, because they did her braids, by the way, like 6-piece.
Yes. First of all, they did her hair very badly in the first season.
It was like they'd
That's
never
true.
seen a black woman.
And
the show
like, I
was
don't-
2023 or whatever. I don't know what it was.
I don't want to speak like on what like black hairstyles and like things that I don't really know about, but I'm just like, I don't think she styled those herself. I feel like somebody from makeup did that for her.
Lauren
And it
could.
was
Do you think that she styled them herself?
No, I just don't feel like like you said, she has like 6 braids, which like jumbo braids are a thing, but like for the size that they are,
For the
she
length
should
that
have
they
had
were.
way more.
Yeah.
Like
Do you
I don't
feel
think it
like-
was styled to like the best that it could be.
Yeah. And it's confusing because she's a grown woman. So do you feel like she was like just starting her natural hair journey, which is like sometimes you have like some flops? Or do you feel like the set genuinely like did her hair for her and screwed it up?
I mean, I don't know, but I'm assuming if you're on a TV show, usually you're not in charge of your hair.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I would assume that was a production flop.
I have heard a lot of like black girls say that production just gives them the same hairstylist. Which like as a white girl, I would have no idea what to do with Lauren's hair.
Yeah. I have actually heard just recently with the Oscar season that just happened, there was an article I read about makeup for black people in TVs and movies, and how like that's just not really a thing. Like a lot of times there's not makeup available that's in the right skin tones, or like
Really?
people who know how to do it in the right skin tones. And that's like a thing that has only recently started to become popularized. Like a lot of people, like black stars, talk about having to bring their own makeup or do their own hair, or like nobody's there to do it for them,
That is insane.
which is crazy.
Or like your only option is you have to wear it straight.
Yes. Like you either have to have it like relaxed, or you have to do it yourself, or I guess maybe somebody there would like give it a shot. But that it does seem kind of crazy to me.
That is
Because like
crazy.
you'd never expect Angelina Jolie to do her own hair and makeup.
No, never. It also, I think that like it's not the exact same thing, but we were talking about after the Oscars that this is the first woman that's ever won cinematography, right?
Yeah.
I didn't
For
know that.
what was it for? Frankenstein?
No.
Oh no, it was for
What
the one with the Leonardo DiCaprio, right?
Oh, one battle after another.
I think so. Whatever, but like the first woman ever won cinematography at the Oscars.
I think she might have been for Sinners.
Either way, I don't care. I go, I list every movie.
I don't
I
remember.
did. I saw that and I was like, oh, that's insane. I didn't realize it was 2026 and a woman has never won that.
Yeah.
Like, I think we kind of like think of these institutions as having more progressive values. And then what you're talking about with black makeup, or the fact a woman's never won that, is like, well, they clearly don't.
Yeah.
Like, they obviously don't. They should not have taken 2026 to have like, it was the first woman and the first woman of color, I think, to win it, which like obviously, but still it's insane.
I do think that as well. But yeah, getting back to Nicole. First of all, her I don't like the way that they did her hair. But outside of that, I just think the way they wrote her character was brutal.
Why do you think?
I just think the way that they treated her in the show, like the way that Conrad treats her, the way that Belly treats her, like she is very much a disposable girlfriend, which is actually a trope, the disposable black girlfriend, where this happens quite a bit in media, where a man will meet and have like a healthy relationship with a black woman, and she's like great in every way, but he's actually in love with a white girl. And so he will inevitably dump the black girl. Like she's really just there to like set up his character arc. She doesn't serve any other purpose. And that's what I feel like about with Nicole. Like the way Conrad treats her, I just think is like very poorly, where she's really trying. He doesn't give her the time of day. He does not care about her. He doesn't care about her feelings, and then actively tries to cheat on her with Belly
Yeah.
multiple times.
Yeah.
And Belly is friends with her.
Which is even
She's
worse.
like one of the only people who's nice to Belly.
Yeah.
And Belly is horrible to her, actively tries to get with her boyfriend. And then at the end, her apology sucks. She never even apologizes for what she did. She just apologizes that like Nicole's feelings got hurt, kind of.
Yeah. She goes, but let me just explain what happened. She's
like-
like Conrad since I was 6.
Yeah, no. And it's
Didn't
like,
ask.
Yeah.
irrelevant.
Yeah, it is irrelevant.
I do not care.
Yeah.
I just think she was done really dirty.
That does happen a lot, like Karen in The Office, where they're just not the one that they end up with.
Yes.
So everyone
Yeah.
hates them, but they didn't actually do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just the placeholder until the actual main relationship happens.
They're just to delay the getting together.
Do you guys, because I almost put Belly on my list. Do you guys feel like Belly was written poorly? Because the character itself pisses me off a lot. I feel like she's actually she's just very selfish. Like in
I
everything
think
she
she's
does.
flawed. I wouldn't necessarily say she's written badly. I just think she's a flawed character,
Which
which
is
is
true. That's different.
kind of nice to see. She is annoying.
Yeah.
I think she's a villain.
She's a monster.
She might have been written correctly though.
Yeah.
I do think I think sometimes female characters are held to really high standards, where it's like like everything that Belly does, Conrad also does at some point, but like there's a lot less hate for Conrad.
Yeah.
Like Conrad is the golden boy and he can really do no wrong, even though everything that Belly does almost he also does at some point.
Right.
And I do think Belly is a very flawed character, but I think she's kind of an interesting character as far as female characters go. So I'll give her a pass.
All right. The next one I have is Ted Lasso, when there's like a very interesting, very strong like female character that I very much respected, Rebecca. That in the first season of Ted Lasso was incredible. Like literally everything about it I think is wonderful. And then for some reason, like beyond me, they just axe her character in half and she starts sleeping with like not underage, sorry. She's not underage. He's like half her age.
He's
a much younger man.
He's 21.
Yeah, and she's like 45. And it was like so out of the blue. It made no sense.
We don't see their relationship progress. They really don't have any chemistry.
No.
Like, it doesn't really make any sense.
No.
It was very strange.
And she pursues him.
Yeah.
And like continues pursuing him. Like it's such like a borderline predatory relationship that it kind of ruined like season 2 for me.
Worse,
and that was my favorite TV show for a while.
Worse, she's his boss.
Yeah, and worse, she's his boss.
I mean, like, I don't think that's technically the term you would use, but she owns the soccer team that he plays for.
Yes,
like,
there is some dynamic.
She owns
power
his
yes.
contract.
Yes.
So like, it's very weird. To be fair, he does pursue her too. He's just as into it. I just think it was a weird writing choice, and I did not like it.
It was bizarre. It was very unnecessary, and I feel like they sabotaged her character with it.
Yeah, and she was never as likable after that.
I always tell people that like the first season of Ted Lasso is so good. I'm like, it's amazing. If you ever want to feel better, watch Ted Lasso season 1. But literally after that, season 2 and season 3 are kind of flops for me.
Yeah,
there's like good parts of it, but a big reason why I hated season 2 was because they just Rebecca's a character.
I took a shotgun to it.
Yeah. I just don't think it was necessary. And I don't know if they would have... I mean, I guess they might have done it with a man, but either way, it would have... Ted Lasso was such a wholesome show. Like, that's kind of what the whole thing was based on, is that Ted is a wholesome character. He's a wholesome man. And, like, every part of season 1 is kind of dedicated to the fact of, like, seeing life better.
Right.
And then they go... in season 2.
It probably would have been less wholesome, like less acceptable if it was a man, and they thought that it was okay for a wholesome show because it's a woman.
Probably.
Because the woman's older.
No, probably.
That has historically been something that ticks me off. It's not really, but like so many shows have like, especially back in the day, had like teenage boys hooking up with like their mom's friends.
Yes.
And then it was like wrong because she was married, but it was never wrong because like he was underage. I'm like, this is weird. He's 16.
Like in Stranger
And your
Things.
daughter's ex-boyfriend. Why are we not calling the police?
There's actually about 100 reasons before we even get to age.
Yeah, like for example, in The OC, which is one of my favorite like older teen shows, Marissa's mom hooks up with her ex-boyfriend. He gets emotionally attached. She then ends it because she's actually married, doesn't want to be with him. It was just a hookup for her, and he actually drives his truck off like something. He doesn't die, but he does attempt to like die by suicide.
That's insane. No, I didn't
But then they
realize
never
that.
act like it's actually like it was like equal parts wrong on both sides. I'm like, no, he's playing like a 16, 17-year-old boy.
That's crazy.
No, that is insane.
I'm like, no, I don't know. And obviously in Ted Lasso, he's not underage and like it's not portrayed like that, but I still think it's weird this past we have with like much older women with much younger men where it's like, well, it's just love. Love is love. Age doesn't matter. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Goosies. Goosies.
That's a
If we say it like 3 times, his wife appears.
When they were all calling her Nosferatu.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I do agree with that. All right, Taylor, another one from you.
So my next one is also from Criminal Minds, and it is Haley,
Who is that?
Hotch's wife.
Oh.
I can't, like, this isn't the one on your list.
The other one on my list was JJ.
Oh.
When they assassinated her by saying that she was in love with Reed.
That is so fair. That is completely accurate.
Yeah, which like I'll just say briefly because like whatever. But mine on Criminal Minds was Penelope Garcia and the fact that JJ was like, all of a sudden, I have a wife and 2 kids. Like I love them dearly, but and this is fair because it's Matthew Gray Gubler. I will give her this, but it was never in line with her character to go like, I'll leave them all for you.
Yeah, but I've actually been in love with you for 17 years.
Yeah,
what?
yeah. They wrote her as like a bumbling buffoon at the end, where she had like no morality when it came to her husband, and she was only. Which, by the way, if it was Matthew Gray Gubler, I probably would too. That's the only pass I'm giving. But it just made no sense to their character. It was lazy writing. It was
because like she'd always been very in love with her husband.
Yes, they always had a good relationship.
They never even wrote in that they were fighting.
Yeah, it was not because it was Matthew Gray Gubler. It was because it was a woman that they felt they could do that to.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, tell me about Haley. That's not what I had. That's interesting. We had 3 characters from Criminal Minds.
Yeah, wow.
Which, love it.
And again, my favorite show.
I do love Criminal Minds, but I'm not saying they handled every storyline perfectly. And one that has always not sat right with me is how they ended Haley's arc.
Okay.
So for those of you watching at home, Hotchner is the guy who leads the team. In the early seasons, he is married and they have a little boy. They do eventually get divorced, but they do still have like a very loving relationship. She doesn't want to be married to him anymore because.
By the way, smash.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I'll criticize Criminal Minds to the day I die. They cast hot characters, which is why I keep coming back.
They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
But like basically, he's a workaholic and she doesn't want to like be married to him anymore, which is actually valid. Like I get why. And then they love to like have a weird enemy that would stalk the team for a while and then inflict personal damage.
Yes.
And in this case, it was George Forsett. And he basically develops this weird obsession with Hotch. He ends up having to put Haley and Jack, his son, in witness protection, where they are there for like half a season. And then George tracks them down. And while Hotch is on the phone with her, brutally murders Haley. Mm-hmm. And I just think it was weird. I just felt like it was really unnecessary. Mm-hmm. I didn't think there was any, like, Haley's whole purpose in the show at that point just became to like die to further Hotch's story. And then after that, like, he's just a single dad.
Yeah.
And like, it's fine. It's whatever. I understand that like we do, like having characters who die to further other characters' arcs is a part of writing. Mm-hmm. But I just never liked the way that they handled that. And I just felt like at the end, it was very much for shock value.
Fair.
Like that was why they did it.
Do you feel like it was fridging though? Do you feel like she had no like, and it's fine if you do, I actually don't know myself, but like, do you feel like she had no character unto herself, or do you think she only furthered Hotch's plot? Because by the time she died, she'd been in it for several seasons.
True. To be frank, she never had a character arc.
Yeah.
She was always a very two-dimensional character.
She was always the person that would call and be like, where are you?
Yeah. Like, and in season,
when are you coming home?
Yeah, in probably season 1 is the only time she had even anything interesting to do, which is when they were still married. Mm-hmm. And that was like, they had a dynamic at least to show. Mm-hmm. And then after that, they're divorced. And she was not in it very much. And the only time she was in it was to be brutally killed.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, they might have left her character open for when they needed like a character, when they needed like a season shock or something. Yeah. Because they really never added anything to her.
No, they didn't really like write her to be an interesting character, like in fairness. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think she was.
As we're figuring out, Criminal Minds really never wrote interesting female characters. So
I think they had their moments where they did. Like, I actually think Prentice is a really interesting female character. I think JJ was up until that horrible choice they made with the writing. Mm-hmm. I think Garcia, though annoying, was also interesting. But I do think Criminal Minds does tend to fall into the trap of killing beautiful women on screen as a way to draw in viewers.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? As someone who appreciates a smash, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. If I was writing a TV show, obviously I would be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like hold it against them. I am going to list it on a public podcast.
Yes.
Fair enough. Is going to talk about it.
Okay, so the next one on my list, and hopefully you guys can speak to it more. When I was researching this kept coming up, but one of them was Natasha Romanoff, and the fact that like she had a terrible ending, and then I don't remember this, but a lot of people were referring to a line she had in Age of Ultron where she was like, where she was basically
she's a monster because she can't have children.
Yes, a lot of people wrote that, and I was like, well, that actually is complete garbage.
I do think Joss Whedon should go to jail and shouldn't.
And that's who directed those?
Yeah.
Did he direct all Marvel or just the Avengers?
Not all of them.
Okay.
He did like the first two. Did he do any after that?
He did the first Avengers. I don't know if he did the second one or not.
Okay.
But he did do the first Avengers movie.
Okay. Is he the one that did Firefly? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, yeah, everyone hates him.
Yeah, he's...
Oh, well, you guys like Firefly.
I do like Firefly, but it ended because everyone hates him.
See, I actually like a lot of Joss Whedon's work. Like, I think he does have really interesting shows and stuff, like Firefly, Dollhouse. I actually do like the first Avengers. He's a bad person,
Joss
though.
Whedon.
Joss
Yeah.
Whedon.
He did the second one.
Yeah, good call. He's a bad person, though. So
Yeah.
mark that down.
Okay, wait. So explain to me the scene because I don't remember it. I just read about it.
Lock in.
Well,
Lauren.
already, for no reason, she's like with Bruce Banner. Doesn't make any sense. No one
They're
asked for
dating
this.
or like they're together.
They're like
They're-
flirting.
She's into him.
No chemistry.
Which, by the
nobody
way-
asked. Steve Rogers is right there.
That's
And
gonna piss me off. Yeah.
Just had The Winter Soldier, where Steve Rogers and Natasha Romanoff do nothing but hang out and have chemistry.
Yeah.
Chris
Okay.
Evans and Scarlett Johansson do nothing but have chemistry the whole
and then
movie.
go the most likely option, someone else.
So they're like talking. She's like in a robe for some reason. I think she like just got out of the shower. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm a monster because he is an actual monster who turns green and
'Cause he
kills people.
keeps-
And she's like, she leans over, puts a hand on the, hey, I get you, King. I'm also a monster because they took out my uterus and I can't have children.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And then
I think that would.
silence.
What does Bruce Banner say?
I don't remember. What do you say?
Yeah, what do you say? Truly.
I don't really remember either. I think he's kind of like transitions into like what would our life look like? Like he sort of like just transitions further into the conversation, but I don't really remember.
Okay, fair.
I don't.
And that
what
is
were they trying
actually
to
despicable
say?
because
I don't think that's
that
what they
is ridiculous.
meant. But what were they trying
also
to say?
draw the difference between that and A Handmaid's Tale. I dare you. It's the same picture.
Crazy. No, I think the reason this comes up is because she really wants to get with him. Why? We don't know. Not like Mark Ruffalo is hot. Okay, I'm not saying he's not.
No, and like I also do want to get with him.
But like the pairing felt very out of nowhere. But anyway, she really wants to go with him. He's telling her all the reasons it can't work, and one of the reasons he lists is that he's been irradiated, basically. Like the reason he turns into a monster is because he's full of radiation, which means he can never have children. He's like, I can never like give you children. We can never have a family. And she's like, checkmate.
I think she's just trying. Like, I think the scene is meant to just like reciprocate that it doesn't matter anyways because she also can't have kids. But it's worded horribly.
She does say like I'm a monster too or something like that. Like it's a weird, unnecessary.
Let me look it up.
Look up the line.
Look it up. No, that is insane. It's also insane in like what 2023, 24
Yeah.
when that was made for someone to make or to say that.
I think it was a little before, but yeah, like it's still like the
Yeah.
modern era.
Yeah,
It's not an
that
old
is
movie.
crazy.
I mean, they butchered her character in a lot of ways.
They did, and also like I historically I always watch Avengers on planes. Like whenever we're going someplace really far, I always end up watching one of the Avengers, and I did that on whatever big trip we just had. And I watched the movie where she freaking dies.
Yeah.
And I think I got off the plane and I was like, that's surely not how they ended her
She
character.
gets no funeral. Nothing.
No,
Like-
everyone else gets a redemption arc. They always like they come back in
makes me so
time.
mad.
Not her.
They're not even that sad about it. There's like
No.
there's like one scene, and I think Hulk like throws a bench,
And like, I think Steve is like, maybe has a single tear fall.
Yeah.
and then they're like,
All right.
okay,
Anyway.
so
Has anyone checked on Iron Man?
Yeah.
Has anyone checked on him?
And then he has a whole funeral at
Yes.
the
Yes.
That-
He has like the whole funeral. He has everyone show up. He has his
Even-
little kid in a suit.
end. Even Bucky Barnes shows up, who he historically hated.
No, and everyone just goes, see no evil, speak no evil.
I'm like, Natasha.
It's insane. Like, see something, don't say anything. Yeah. That's what they do.
That does really bug me.
Yeah.
The way that they did her character wrong. And I think Scarlett Johansson did her best with what she was given,
Yeah.
but like she was given nothing.
Yeah. And also shouldn't be surprised that they completely botched her character since the word fridging comes from a superhero like trope.
Comic books are notoriously sexist, misogynistic, and do not write female characters in a very like thoughtful way.
And didn't everyone hate Wonder Woman because they tried not to do that?
Yes, I'm sure they did.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I might take this out, whatever, but I seem to remember that everyone hated like a modern day Wonder Woman because they tried to write her less misogynistic. And everyone was like, you should go kill yourself.
Yeah.
Dear director, you should go kill yourself.
I do remember like the Wonder Woman movie, like had a female director and made a huge effort to like the outfit's actually not uncomic accurate, but it does like cover more of her body. It's more meant for like battle, and it's more practical than just like the tits out version from the comic books, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and I do remember men did have an issue with it where they're like, what's the age of wokeness done to us?
It's so stupid. Did you find the scene?
Yeah. Essentially, it's just exactly what we said. Black Widow calls herself a monster because she was forcibly sterilized, which she believes dehumanized her and made her a more effective, cold-blooded killing machine, similar to the Hulk's destructive nature.
Okay, yeah. She was like trying to find common ground, but it just came off completely out of touch.
And I do think like if you want to like have a storyline about that, you can, about like a woman feeling like she's less of a woman because she can't have children. I actually think that's not an unrelatable feeling. But I think if you're going to do it, you have to handle it in a way that's like sensitive and also like resolves it of like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Do you want the actual scene?
Yeah, sure.
Give it to us.
He says, I can't have this. Kids, do the math. I physically can't. And then she says, neither can I. And the red room, they sterilize you. One less thing to worry about. The one thing that might matter more than a mission. It makes everything easier, even killing. You still think you're the only monster on the team. So I think they're trying to say that like because of the people she killed, it's just not written well.
No, it's not.
Yeah, they did her incredibly dirty.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people don't, but I actually like the Black Widow movie. I think they tried to like retroactively fix a lot of her character, but it was too little too late. It was too little too late. You should have done this back when you wrote her.
Yeah.
Not after Endgame.
Truly.
Fair. That's in the name, Endgame. You should have written it before Endgame. Yeah.
Related, I also think they did Gamora wrong. Not as bad.
And
but I
she's the
don't
green
like
one?
Yeah. I do not like her ending.
How did she end again? Did she end up like
Exactly how
barely-
Natasha died.
okay?
And then we see her again, but it's not actually her. It's like an alternate timeline, Gamora.
Yeah, it's like a different version of her from a different timeline.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But Thanos hurls her off the cliff, exactly where Natasha died.
The
to
same
get the soul
cliff,
stone.
actually.
The
Okay.
same cliff.
Which is like, okay,
They said,
guys.
we know what to do. Take her to the cliff.
Yeah.
And it's not even that she dies. Like, I understand, like, characters die. Sometimes you do have to up the stakes. I hate that they tried to use that to humanize Thanos. I hate it.
Which is like, I mean, I guess Gamora had a plot line and like interest
She
before
did.
that. It's
She
not technically fridging, but they obviously killed her just to do that. Yeah.
Yes. Like, and to this day, if I ever see anybody try to like defend Thanos in that moment, I'm like, shut up. Because like basically the point is like you have to give up something that you love in order to get the soul stone. Like
I do remember that.
you have to sacrifice something. And he sacrifices her because it's the only thing he loves. And she says in that moment, like she's crying and she says like, this isn't love. Like that's not what this is. And I'm like, it's not. And like the fact that people try to be like, oh, he did love her in the end. No, he didn't. He viewed her as an object that he used to get his way. And yet he cried about it. He still killed her.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it.
And even if he did love her to like the extent that he could, it doesn't make it right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't.
And
So?
like maybe his like cold little flaccid heart, that's all he could do. Maybe that for him that was love. It doesn't matter.
And also like.
It's not good enough.
And also like 3 scenes before, he's actively torturing her sister, who is his other adoptive daughter.
Yeah.
Whose people he also murdered. Like, I don't like any Thanos apologists.
Yeah, that's fair.
I hate it.
I'm like, speaking of, should we watch Endgame?
Yeah. I mean, is it a good movie? Kind of.
Yeah.
But I don't like how they handled either of their deaths.
No, that's fair. And I
Okay,
think
anyway.
superheroes are a good example of this.
Yes. Anyway, moving on. We don't have to talk about Marvel all night.
Okay, the reason why Taylor and I wrote this, or why we came up with this idea, and Lauren, you didn't watch this episode, but we'll describe what happened to Shailene Woodley in Paradise.
It actually sent me into like a violent
This
rage.
is like what triggered this episode. So like, I think we already kind of told you about this, but we'll tell you everything. So they start season 2 where they're like, there's this brand new character and it's Shailene Woodley and she's super famous. So I'm sure she'll be here for a long time.
She's a big name actress.
Yeah, and she is. So they start it and she like survives the apocalypse and then she ends up by herself because her friend dies. And then she's living by herself like after the whole apocalypse. And first of all, these just a group of like 10 men try to break into the Elvis Presley like museum that she's living at, which she worked at before. I can't get bogged down with details. But so they break in, and one of them is probably a half smash with the beard he has on.
Yeah.
But like you're like, oh, I hope he isn't a rapist.
Yeah.
That's the whole vibe when you first meet him. You go, I hope he's not a rapist.
And I'm sitting there like, he's got to be a rapist.
Yes,
like
everyone watching it is like, oh, a hot man in the middle of an apocalypse. Surely he's trying to rape her.
Like waiting for the other shoe to drop, because again, it's 10 men, no women.
No women.
Like, there's no women here.
There's none.
They break into her dwelling where she's been living and assault her. They don't rape her, but like they do catch her.
Yes.
And I'm like,
they like bring her out, and then he comes in. She's like sitting on the floor, and he goes, my name is, and he does this like weird little like intro thing, but he doesn't like talk that much. And then like she kind of like turns it around on him, and she hits him upside the head, and then stays inside her room for like 3 days. So they have this whole like this
back and forth.
So he coaxes her out of her bedroom after she struck him upside the head, and they start basically saying like, oh, they like lead us to this idea of like they're not the worst guys ever, they're just guys in the apocalypse. And then they kind of hang out, and they have like this fun like dinner where they all dress up kind of sweet like before the apocalypse. And then her and this guy have a love night where they're like, oh, we have so much connection. Like they talk all night. They obviously like sleep together.
They hook up.
All of that. And they have like a really great night. And after what would be like 5 or 6 years, I don't know how long, but years of living in solitude, she meets someone who apparently, and again, me and Taylor the whole time are like, when is he gonna strike?
When is he gonna be evil?
When is he gonna be evil? Yeah.
But he's like, it turns out, just a 25-year-old unbelievably hot man once you shave that beard.
Yes, she makes him shave his beard. Smashed. And we keep waiting for this, like, the shoe to drop, and it never does. So they wake up the next morning, and she kicks him out, or he leaves or whatever, and then she shuts the door, and then he begs her and is like, hey, like, we decided we need to go to this other place, which is the whole
we're headed where we're going.
Yeah, whatever. That's not important. But like, he's like, we have to go. And he like pleads with her for like 20 minutes and is like, please, I know you can hear me. You locked the door. Please come with us.
Like, I really like you. I really want to make this work. Mind you, they've been hanging out maybe 2 weeks, by the way.
Yeah,
she does. It's dramatic, but
I will say,
she knows him.
And I will say, in the apocalypse, you cannot be that picky.
That's a long time.
Like, I mean, you both like each other. Go with him.
Yeah, they stay up like laughing all night too. Like they clearly like each other. Mm-hmm. And she does this when he's like pounding on the door and is like, please come with me. This is what she does.
Cool.
She like hits one of those and like inside the door. It does nothing. Just says nothing. Won't acknowledge him. Pisses me off beyond belief. So he finally leaves. He leaves her a note that's like, please, I'm gonna come back for you as soon as we get done with what we're doing. Like I will circle back. Like basically like I love you. I'll come find you. Okay. So again, they've set up this for like an episode or two.
Yeah. I think like it's the second episode they set up her whole story. By the way, an entire episode.
No, I think it's the first.
The first?
The first is where they set it up. I think it bleeds into the second, but whatever.
But like they do spend an entire episode where like the characters we know from season 1 aren't even in it.
No.
It's
they start with
her.
Shailene Woodley. Her. They bring up this woman and they get you attached to her. And then so he leaves, she comes out. And by the way, I hate this trope too. It's so poorly written where as soon as he leaves, like basically you can see him at the end, but she can't reach him like at the end of the road or whatever. She like decides, oh, that is the love of my life. So she rides towards him, can't find him. And then she ends up with not Randall, but the actor that plays Randall, and he crashed in a plane. So like now it's like intersecting with season 1. But
what is revealed
at the end of the episode 2 before like when she tries to find this guy is like it goes through all the seasons and you watch and her belly grows because now she's pregnant and she has this baby that was this guy's that for no reason, that again poorly written, she had no reason to not go with. She had nothing tying her to the Elvis Presley's museum.
To Graceland.
To Graceland. Yeah, she has no ties to Graceland. She decides to like not go with. So once she hooks up with Randall, not hooks up, but like once she like links up with Randall's character to where now they're like in the same world, she gives birth to the baby, just dies.
Why?
Just dies.
Bleeds out.
That is insane.
Episode like maybe 3 or 4.
maybe 3. I feel like
so I guess they're just gonna prioritize the baby now. But
No,
he spent a lot of time with that character.
Baby daddy.
he's
the new
about
main
the baby
character.
daddy. Yeah.
So actually, all of it was to set up his character, and he's now the main character of like her arc.
Yes.
Does he come
Now,
back?
yeah, like the place
They're,
he was
like,
going was
showing
the bunker.
his-
Okay.
That's where he
Yeah.
was going. So like now his story is like intersecting with the bunker, and like we're seeing that happen. Obviously, he doesn't know she's dead and has born his child. He doesn't unaware. Like it's just stupid. It's so. And I'm like, first of all, I like him. Okay, I think he's a really hot actor. I know him from Disney Channel. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not saying
I know
doesn't,
him from something not Disney Channel.
but I'm not saying he doesn't deserve an arc. But to use Shailene Woodley, a very well-known, received actress,
No, it
to
is
set him up.
insane.
This is
That
some
is
kid.
crazy, and
this
then
is some
just
kid
kill
from
him.
Disney Channel. I think it's wild.
I think we kept waiting for them I didn't think she was actually gonna die.
No.
And they were like, "No, she's dead."
Nope. Doesn't matter how big a name. She's dead.
That
And
is
again,
crazy.
I actually hate a died in childbirth storyline.
And that is annoying too.
I hate it. And I know like historically that did happen. I'm not saying it's like not believable in a world with no like modern medicine that a woman would
but
die in
I don't
childbirth.
think it happened as much as people think it does.
And especially like at this point, she has like midwives. Like Randall or his name is Xavier. In the show.
We're just talking about the other show, but what I just call him Randall.
But at this point, Xavier has found her help. There's like women helping her give birth. Nothing they can do.
That is
Yeah.
Nothing
super
they can do.
annoying.
And I'm like, this is dumb.
And she even does the dramatic, like, gives him the baby and is, like, still bleeding out. And she's like, take care of him. She's still speaking coherently.
she's like, find his dad. Find his dad. I'm like,
no, all of
You
it
seem
was
fine.
or her
it was
dad. I think it's a
worst,
girl, but-
like, written character I could have possibly thought of.
Oh, I
'Cause
hated it. I hated it.
She was just completely inept in the head to not go with him in the first place.
Yeah.
That was such a stupid, like, this is a selfish woman trope. There's no reason why she shouldn't have gone.
And then, like, why did we spend so much time with her if she
Why
was
did we-
just gonna die?
She could have been like a footnote instead of 2 episode long.
And again, why did we cast Shailene Woodley?
Yes, that was the other thing. Like, why did we fridge Shailene Woodley?
Like, again, I'm not saying she's like an A-lister. She's hardly a nobody.
Yeah, you could have just cast someone no one had ever heard
Have
of.
you guys not seen the Divergent series?
Oh, that John Green one, isn't she?
The Fault in Our Stars?
Fault in Our
Yeah.
Stars. Like, the kid, who I'm not knocking him.
No hate on him.
He's from the Descendants
He
movies.
is.
He's from the Descendants movies. He plays Captain Hook's son.
Oh,
Doesn't even
that
play Captain
kid?
Hook. Yeah.
He
that's
is
the kid.
hot.
Of course he is. Have I known about him for years? Have I followed his career? Yes, of course I have. He's still from like C-tier Disney Channel movies.
Crazy.
Hi, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Little Miss. We had some technical difficulties with the camera that I'm gonna work out, but basically we couldn't do the outro as a group. So I'm just coming back to say thank you so much for watching. We had a couple women on our list that we didn't get to. So maybe we'll do a part 2 soon, we'll see. But I want to thank everyone for watching again. If you liked this, please comment, please subscribe. It helps a lot if you subscribe on Instagram, which is Little Miss Podcast Official. TikTok is Little Miss Podcast. Anyway, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.